Recording in progress.
Hello everyone. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, nice to see you again here. This morning we have Professor Nir Setri here. I think we are very happy to have him here. He's from University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and then he study his research is in the technology management area, digital technology, something like that. So he study a lot on the topic of artificial intelligence, blockchains, and so on. And then he's very productive. I think his writing, his article will be like 100, 200 or 2,000, something like that. So he always typing. Even during his sleeping, he typing during his sleeping. And then he wake up, one article finished. So if you want to study more on this topic, I think you can ask him. You can have discussion with him. And then today we're going to have the offline here, offline students. Many students here are either PhD students or master students. And then we also have online students, online participants. I don't know how many online here. Must be more than the offline person. So we're conducting hybrid session. Okay. Okay, I think without further ado, please, Professor Nir.
Thank you very much. How much time we have for this one? Thank you.
We have 3 hours.
2 hours only? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
have enough.
No.
Thank you. So maybe I'll sit here so that people can see me or hear online. Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Manju, for the nice introduction. Yeah, we studied with Manju together in the University of Rhode Island in the US, and he's finance expert, and so I'm not, but I'm technology, like I research on technology, and so I do sometimes finance paper, like how all these technologies are affecting this financial services industry. Long ago, I visited 2018, my first time here, and that time I presented a paper about the initial coin offering, so basically blockchain and smart contract and cryptocurrency, and they changed the way to start your business, how you raise money, and so basically and to understand that not only finance knowledge is needed, but it is very important to know how blockchain and smart contract and tokenization and all those things work, and that's what I basically researched on it. Actually, I published that paper in Financial Innovations, the journal, and so after I got here, and so presenting and getting feedback from people. So this is presenting is learning, so I learn as much as you do, and I do my presentation. So this is about the generative artificial intelligence, how that technology is affecting the financial services industry, and they say that generative artificial intelligence is really, really big, and actually maybe in 10 years time, the effect will be something like $15 trillion worldwide, and that is many times bigger than the entire economy of Indonesia. I think $15 trillion is like the US economy. So that's how much generative AI will impact the global economy. So I'm focusing on the effect on financial services industry. So this is not kind of research paper, advanced research paper, and or modeling. I don't have anything here. This is just to start research. We can focus on many of the things that I'm talking today and publish paper in this area, because it is still very easy to publish paper. If you do research something about generative AI in finance, it will be easy for maybe 6 months, next 1 year. Then after that, everyone starts working, and all these journals do not publish anymore. And you should take the opportunity whenever this is a new area, and because there are not many paper published, and the journal editors normally like, because so they don't expect a lot of very very sophisticated paper, and so if you just introduce the subject in general, and it is easy to publish, and that is the idea here. Let's go to the presentation that I'm doing here, and so yeah, I have 6 parts in this presentation. First is the impact of generative AI on financial services industry. Very brief. I have a couple of slides on that, and then maybe many of you have heard of and I'm sure all of you or most of you use generative AI, like ChatGPT is the most popular generative AI. And if you are not using, if you do not have any account ChatGPT, you should start today using that, because they say that I think it is fully applicable in Indonesia, and they don't hire anyone these days, the companies who do not use ChatGPT or any type of generative AI. It is very important, because don't think that you can do a lot of things without generative AI, because everyone is using generative AI. They are working very fast, and you want to do it yourself, and you'll be slow, and companies do not like that. So basically, you should take advantage of ChatGPT, any type of generative AI, what they can do, and what you can do. Basically, that is called augmentation. Augmentation means using your strength and the strength of generative AI and combining them together. That is the augmentation, and that's what they have to do. And so I'll talk about that a little bit. Then the second part is the large language model, which is special type of generative AI. Like ChatGPT is large language model, and that is subset of generative AI. I'll talk about that. And so I'll give 3 examples of financial institutions that they have high-profile generative artificial intelligence initiatives. They are from the US, and that's what I'll be talking in the third part. And then what are the benefits and facilitators of the use of generative AI? And what are the disadvantages and barrier for the financial services? Because financial services companies are special type of companies, and they are highly regulated. And if you have people's financial data, any type of data, and so you cannot really use that information on public ChatGPT type of thing, and also you cannot really. The European Union has recently. They have the first jurisdictions in the world to have the AI, Artificial Intelligence Act, and so that act basically prohibits you from making any decision that impacts consumers. So you cannot say that, you are a bank and you are not giving me a loan, and you cannot say that, I use generative AI on your data, and my generative AI told me not to give you a loan. You cannot say that in the European Union. So basically, in other areas, you can use generative AI, but because in financial service, if you are a bank and you are talking about my future, by giving me money or not giving me money, you are making a very important decision. That's why regulations affect the financial services industry more than any other industry. And I'll be talking about that benefits and facilitators. And so, looking at the strategic management, you have corporate strategy, and then so generative AI should be part of corporate strategy. So basically, how you should incorporate that in the company, and what you should do, what you should not do. That should be part of strategy. Means you should be thinking about long term, not making decision about today. You should have the plan, part of a detailed plan. I'll be talking about that. And the final part is diverse types of uses of generative AI in financial So basically, this is the early thing that many people have published actually in finance journal or any type of journal about generative AI. And so I'm covering a lot of things. When I visit here next time, and I'll be talking more research paper, specific topic, probably very, very in depth and so we'll be talking a lot of things here today. And so let's first go to the first part, the impact of generative artificial intelligence on financial services industry before basically talking in more detail about the generative AI. So the consulting company McKinsey is publishing a lot of report about generative AI. If you visit their website, they have a lot of report, and so actually they publish a good report. Like many researchers, the professors working in university say that their research is the best one. That is true probably, but they just do research and they do real world thing and very high impact thing, and so their report will be more considered by the governments all over the world. And so they have published a lot about generative AI recently, all consulting companies, and two of them I'm citing here. One is the McKinsey company's report, and another is the Accenture company's just published a few days ago, 2024 trends, and those are the two things. So basically, generative AI adoption in the global economy, this McKinsey company says about 2.6 to 4.4 trillion, but other surveys are saying up to $15 trillion worldwide. And then also McKinsey's report is saying that the effect will be the biggest in the financial service industry, like bank, compared to any other industry. So in the range of 200 to 300 billion annually. So that's what they say. And I don't have the references here, but if you want some detail about it, you can email me, and my email is in the last slide here. So basically, the point here is the McKinsey company's report is that trillions of dollars of impact on the global economy, and financial services will be the ones most affected than any other industry. That is number one. And also Accenture just published this report a few days ago, and it is saying that unprecedented advantages, and that's what it says, and 22 to 30% in operational efficiency. That means, like operational efficiency, this is consistently that all of the surveys have found. Operational efficiency means by using, let's say, providing customer services, financial services, you are using a human being representative. How many problems they can resolve, how many questions they can answer, and compare that with generative AI. And so they say that generative AI can do as good job and answer 23%, up to 30% is more, and 6% rise in revenue is what Accenture says that financial services will be doing. And also, not only that, there are other reports published, and the third one here I'm citing is the NVIDIA company, which is the biggest. Actually, this is the biggest artificial intelligence company in the world, headquartered in the US, and have the financial services. And they are saying that 91% of financial services companies are evaluating or they have already implemented artificial intelligence. That's what the company NVIDIA is saying. And so if you are working in a bank, what banks do? Bank job is to manage customer, attract new customer, and do all the things, also manage risks. And you might have different types of risk and complying with regulations. So if you do not comply with regulations, you might have to get billions of dollars of fine and do all the things and at a very low cost. So better than your competitor. And so basically, manage and attract customer and take care of all the risks and do all of those at a very low cost so that you can price them at a low price so that everyone will do business with you. And so basically what I'm saying here is the generative AI will help this one. And so when you talk about generative AI, many people just think about the customer service chatbot. If you visit the bank website and you talk with chat, that is not a thing actually. So generative AI can do everything for you. The generative artificial intelligence can write code, So basically, you have some type of code. Like long ago, when I was doing my research, I didn't know how to write SAS code, for example, to do my research, and it is not a problem. Any type of code you can ask the generative AI. Okay, write the code for me to this type of thing, to write code, because actually ChatGPT was trained in something like 300 billion words and also 12 different languages. on the GitHub website programming languages. So it will program for you actually. So that, and also code development is one thing. And so this is what so here what I talk is the effect that generative artificial intelligence is having on the financial services industry, already having, and also a lot of things, more things are coming, because so this generative AI thing started after last year, November 30, 2023, when the ChatGPT was released. And so before that, generative AI was being used, but not many people knew about that. And that was the most powerful generative AI. So everyone is aware of that, and more people are using, and already there are effects of generative AI. So that is the first thing. Now, let's go to the second part. And the second part is what exactly large language model and generative AI. How exactly they work, and different types of generative AI and large language models. And this is what I'll be kind of covering a little bit the next. So if you go to generative AI, and a lot of things we have to talk about neural network. And so the foundation of generative AI is in mathematics. Actually, long ago in 1940s, there was a conference in the US in the Dartmouth College, and few computer scientists started using that, and neural network is the foundation, and they have the deep learning and the generative AI and artificial intelligence and GPT and large language models and those type of basic things that I'll talk next. So neural network is what I described in this book, Fourth Revolution and the Bottom for Billion. So this was published by the University of Michigan Press 2 months ago. And by the way, the university, the press, actually, University of Michigan Press could get some funding for this one, something like $30,000. And so basically, they were able to make it freely available to everyone. So if you just search this book and go to Amazon and download for free if you like. Okay? So this is because someone gave them money, and so that, they can make available for everyone for free. And so basically, just can take a picture and go to Amazon and download for free if you like, or then directly go to the. So in this book, I have described a lot of things, including the neural network. And neural network is these two mathematicians, McCullough and Fish. Basically, the idea is to develop like the human brain, how human brain functions. So they don't understand completely, but they understand a lot about how human brain works. And so basically, the models, mathematical models, they are trying to develop exactly like the human brain functions. And so this is a complete mathematical tasks, long tasks by analyzing large amount of data. That's what we do. And so already they have developed this one neural network. And some of the examples are like if you are using Google Translation to translate from English to Bahasa Indonesia, or the other way, and you'll be using the neural network, or digital assistants like Siri type of thing, or if you are driving Tesla, self-driving cars, and self-driving cars have to recognize a lot of things, and they use the neural network. And so basically, all these things, and so this is the goal is to complex non-linear relationship between input variables and output variables. Input variables and output variables. If we are talking about ChatGPT and input variables, means you write a word or a sentence, or even the question or statement, and that is input, and it will give you output. And so basically, that's what the neural network is, the foundation of all the generative AI that we are talking. So now, going to the artificial intelligence, there are many different definitions. Again, artificial intelligence is like to develop the way human brain functions. That is the idea. Neural networks, more kind of advanced version. And this is there are many definitions, and that is the definition of the OECD, which is Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which has, I think, 37 or 38 countries worldwide are the members of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. So the definition that they have, and if we are talking about the EU Artificial Intelligence Act, and they have taken the definition of artificial intelligence from this one, OECD definition is what they use. So basically, AI is a machine-based system, explicit or implicit objective, infers from the input receives and generates outputs So prediction, content, recommendation, decision, and physical or virtual environment, and level of autonomy and adaptiveness after deployment. So basically, what this is saying is that how much decision they can make by themselves, or you can control the decisions that they make, and also that is the autonomy. And adaptive means the meaning of adaptive means they work in certain type of environment, but they may not necessarily work in other environment. And so if they do, that is called adaptive. And they can, for example, if you look at the ChatGPT that is trained in 95 different languages, definitely including Bahasa Indonesia, but like there are only the continent of Africa has 1,000 languages actually, and there are three main, like they have French and English and Swahili and all these. Sorry, not one of Swahili. Sorry, I think that is the one. And they are the main ones, but there are 1,000 languages, and many of them are not written. Just people speak, but so it is not adaptive. Like generative artificial intelligence works very well in English. Not that good in Bahasa Indonesia. I heard that like in other languages, in Spanish, if you ask, it will give you some output and doesn't even make any sense actually. So and that is the adaptive means in different type of setting. Then so that is the thing that artificial intelligence will be doing. Actually, just to tell you, there are two types of AI. One is generative AI. Generative AI generates things, and there is another type of AI known as the predictive AI. Predictive AI just makes prediction. So like if you go to the airport and the facial recognition system, actually many airports all over the world, you don't have to really scan your passport anymore. Just go to the camera, look at the camera, it recognizes you, and it is predicting you. Predicting means based on whatever, like the confidence, 99.9% confidence, and it is you. And so that's what they recognize, and that is not predictive. It is not really generating anything. And so there are two types of artificial intelligence we are talking, broadly speaking. So one is the predictive and another is the generative. And when you're talking about financial services industry, they use both types. They have to use the predictive AI and they have to use the generative AI. But we are mainly talking about the generative AI today. And so when I'm saying generative AI, that does not mean that they should not use predictive AI. So combining the two things together is the best idea. So another thing they call is the deep learning, and so that is the neural network model involving many layers. Many layers means, and so if we're talking about self-driving car are trained. The cars are trained, the algorithms are trained, and they say that actually with every 1 hour of driving, and they need to provide 800 hours of training. And the training will take place in many places. I don't know if they have in India, but the training, all these artificial intelligence, like the self-driving car, they do in countries like India. So basically, they contact with all these companies in India, and they work a lot to train this artificial intelligence. And you have to teach this artificial intelligence. When this type of thing comes in, you have to introduce, like how to identify human, how to identify wall, how to identify red light, how to identify the green light, how to identify, so all the things, like, and making sure that stops when it has to stop. And so basically, and if you have to train this identifying a cat, for example, or human being like us, and so basically, they are trained on human face. They are trained on human face means there are many different layers. One layer will be looking at the nose, and so basically just identifying what people's nose are like, so basically, and the other layer will be identifying on the eyes, and other layer will be identifying, and one layer means one computer, the GPU, graphic processing, and that is basically looking at nose. And another is looking at eye, and so they also basically communicate with each other. And what is the distance between eye and nose? And that is also important. What the hair looks like, and so what everything in your face looks like, and they collect literally trillions of data points about the face, and so when it matches, and it is you. That's what they identify. So deep learning means the algorithm automatically looks at all the relevant variables. Like when they have to identify a cat, everything about cat, eyes of cat, heads of cat, the feather, everything, and they communicate each other, and so there is complete picture of what the cat should look like. And so basically, that's what the deep learning is looking like. And deep learning was not possible long ago, maybe even 20, 30 years ago, because it requires processing large amount of data, and there was no computing technology of high level. And so computing technologies long ago, actually one time Bill Gates was saying, everyone is saying that, oh, why do anyone in the world needs more than 600 kilobytes? And so basically, he thought that 600 kilobytes is enough for everyone. No one in the world needs more than 600 kilobytes. And the computers that we were buying long ago, maybe it came with some megabyte of memory. So these days, if you take a photograph, it is kind of 10 megabyte, and so basically maybe 50 megabyte. And so that was not possible long ago because there was no computing power to analyze all this data. But computing power is really, really advancing very rapidly, and that's why deep learning is possible. So basically, again, the generative AI is a type of deep learning. Deep learning basically analyzes a lot of things and a number of layers. Not possible in the neural network in the 1940s, and also high dimensional data involves large number of traits. And like if they have to identify human being facial recognition, this is high dimensional data because they have to literally know a million things about you and me. Only then they can identify confidence that you are the one, like when they are scanning your face. And so basically that is possible only with this one. And so here we are talking about the OpenAI's ChatGPT was actually GPT-3, GPT-4. They were trained in something like 300 billions of words, and so they have to literally know how the 300 billions of words are related to each other. And so basically, that is very important. And non-linear pattern. And we're not just talking about the linear relation. We are talking about all types of non-linear relation. So the world. Maybe a lot of things you'll be doing, you might be using linear regression, and so basically the world doesn't function in a linear way. So basically a non-linear, all types of relations that you have to identify, and that's what the deep learning will do. And GPT is kind of algorithm trained on large amount of text-based data, and human-like text is what it is generated. And so if you are talking about again all these generative AI like ChatGPT, they are training different sources. The materials available in the internet, many scientific research, books, and social media posts. And so they, and not only this, actually, only the programming. Also the programming language, actually 12 different programming languages, and that's what they are called. And it is also trained in scientific research. And so long ago, like I have to do my reference work myself and citing that in the APA format or MLA. So it was a lot of work and submit to one journal and formatting APA. Other journals want different things, like they want MLA. So now I can just ask ChatGPT, and I give all the things copied from one location and just give ChatGPT, and just I don't even have to write anything. Just write APA. It automatically does the reference for me in APA because it is also trained in scientific research. And so basically, this is what they are trained on. Large language models and the large language models are trained in these words and sentences, paragraphs, and so basically they are trained what words often come together. Okay, so basically they exactly know that what they together, how they interrelate, and prompt is entered, and prompt could be. Recently, I have written a paper about prompt engineering, how to write an effective prompt, and so prompt is the idea in prompt basically is not only in software engineering, you have to program things. Program things when you have to give exact command, like okay, do this and do that, and so basically exact command, then the output is generated. Here, no command. Generative artificial intelligence, large language models, just Large language models or generative artificial intelligence do not need any command actually. So what you do is prompt. Prompt is normally in the form of okay. Prompt is normally in the form of text. But like people these days do not even use text when you do messaging, and I don't understand what people are writing sometimes. I need clear thing written in text, and they use some type of emoji and all different things, and I have no clue what people are saying when they write me messages. And actually, this generative artificial intelligence, many of them even understand emoji as prompt. Instead of writing the text, do me this, and you just enter some type of emoji that you will use in your textbook or other places, and not ChatGPT, but some of them even understand that actually. So prompt is what you use, and so so if you are asking that, and then it has some idea because it is trained on 300 million words. And so basically one thing that became useless is that if you are a very, very good English writer, actually I tried a lot to write good English for the past 22 years, and that is useless now because ChatGPT writes better than me. Because ChatGPT knows 300 billion words. I know 1,000 words. ChatGPT anymore. So basically, best thing for me is whatever I want to write, I can ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT write this sentence in 10 different ways, and ChatGPT writes in 10 different ways, and I take which one I wanted. So basically, and ChatGPT can write very good, especially. Maybe in a few years' time, it will write good Bahasa Indonesia than most people in the class probably, because after it is done, or it already writes, I don't know, but it is not trained in other languages, and it doesn't do a good job in Mandarin, because Mandarin actually 60% of the materials on the internet is English. Mandarin is only 1%. So that's why why? Because a lot of Chinese people use mobile phone and computer and everything. But they do most of their transaction on like these companies, private companies. Like they use their, whatever their the most popular social media platforms in China, Weibo. But it is not public, so because it is not publicly available on the internet, and that's not the way that Chinese communicate. And that's why, although Chinese generate a lot of data, and not all of them is publicly available. Not all of them is publicly available means all these different tools could not use Mandarin for training them. And so that's why it is very good in English. But other languages like Japanese, it is not that good. That's what Japanese are saying all the time. So, and performance is high level pattern, and increase the size of the model and generalizing of capability, and that's what the large language models will be talking about. So another thing is parameters. And so long ago, GPT-2 was released in 2019, and that had 1.5 billion parameters. And like GPT-3, actually ChatGPT is GPT 3.5. It is 3, and then it is not bigger, but it is trained. So basically, trained GPT 3.5, ChatGPT was trained by people, a lot of them in Kenya. So there is a lot of bad content on the internet. And ChatGPT was trained not to do bad thing. Basically, that is the idea that is trained. And GPT 3.5, but it is not bigger, it is just trained, improved version of GPT 3, and not to say bad words and not to do, that type of thing people train. And so that 175 billion parameter, and GPT 4 is 1,000 billion, that is 1 trillion parameters is what GPT 4. So if you do not know what parameter is, linear regression, simple linear regression has how many parameters? Do you know? Linear regression, simple linear regression. How many parameters they have? If you are doing a linear regression, very simple. This one, it has only 2 parameters. That's when down at the parameters. So, okay, remember, you are doing 2 parameters in an estimating model. Okay, help me predicting this, but you are dealing with 2 parameters, and that's why don't believe whatever your model is saying, because only 2 parameters were used to estimate your model. Maybe use I use very sophisticated regression model. I use 10 variables, and you have only 10 parameters, 11 parameters. You cannot do anything with 11 parameters. 11 parameters that you do are very good. Oh, my financial model was really good and it predicts something, but you did use 11 parameters. And compared to that, it does 1,000 billion parameters. So don't even talk about the regression anymore, because it doesn't deal with anything like small number of parameters. So basically, that's what they are training. So the parameters basically is like when it is writing a sentence, parameter is the constraint. So basically, constraint means this is ordinary linear regression. Ordinary linear regression means you should minimize the sum of square between the distance of the line. That constraint you get. And the constraint here is when you write a sentence, when I say I don't, you don't use the past. I don't drink. Don't say I don't drunk. So that is a constraint. That is a parameter, for example. So basically, they use that, and those types of parameters a lot. 1 trillion in GPT-4, and so that's why it is trained really, really good. And actually, that type of thing can happen only in the US. And they are trying to do in China, but apparently they cannot do in China. China doesn't have a good large language model, because in China, apparently, is not really a support for developing this type of thing. So they invest money, all these private companies, when they have to launch solution for people like you and me and developing app. But when they have to develop these models from the beginning, actually Microsoft gave long ago to the OpenAI $1 billion, just to train, and it gave all the cloud. Like Microsoft is very good at cloud computing. It gave all the cloud resources equivalent to $1 billion. And later it gave additional $10 billion. And so far, Microsoft gave OpenAI something like $13 or $14 billion to develop all these models, and they have a lot of resources. So basically, training all these 1,000 billion or 1 trillion parameters take a lot of time. Training that for 4 months, 5 months time, that has a lot of cost actually. They say that the cost will be something like 4-day cost will be hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's how much spent, and so this is the parameter. And so subset of generative AI is some type of subset of artificial intelligence and machine learning, and they can create text, image, video, music, or code-based inputs, examples, anything. So maybe if you are talking about marketing, and so basically in the business school, marketing is good. And if I have to be a decision maker, I have to give some recommendation to my dean at the university, I recommend to actually close the marketing program. Or like just do not train that many people in marketing. Everything will be marketing. People's job is not to write advertising, make video or audio anymore. Marketing people's job now is to give a good prompt. So there are all these things like the Midjourney, DALL-E, different type of Jasper AI. They can create copy for you, advertising copy. They can create video. They can create image. Why do we need marketing people anymore? Marketing people, we need 1 or 2 people. 1 or 2 people give a good prompt, and when the output is good, the check the output. This is a good output. That's all marketing people need. So in the past, they needed 100 marketing people. Now they need only 2. So my recommendation will be, just train a few people, or other universities will do that. Focus on important things. Don't do marketing anymore, because they can create text. Like when you are talking about marketing, they can create ad for you. So I develop this type of product, and I want to market this product to the Generation Z, like young people, females of this age group. My product is like this. Write a very good ad. 1 paragraph wrong, and write 10 different ways. It does perfect job. And then go to DALL-E Midjourney and ask to create image or ask to create video. It does for you, because it is doing all the things, and it is doing better than most marketing people, or all marketing people, we can say, because marketing people who are trained, if they are like me, they know only a few thousand words, but this GPT, they know hundreds of billions of words. I cannot compete with them anymore. And so basically, that is the idea here. They can create everything. So basically, what is learned to create new data and the system is trained. And so basically, large language model is a type of generative AI. Now, generative AI is broad. You give prompt in text, it generates text, generates image, generates music, generates video, or any type of data for you. And if it generates only words, text, it is called language model, large language model. Large, of course, language model. So this is a type of generative AI which has input as words and output also words. And this is what. So this is general introduction about the large language models and generative AI. And currently, there are actually the IBM company has, I think, some type of big investment is in this AI company called Hugging Face. And Hugging Face tracks all this all over the world. The last time I looked at Hugging Face, they're tracking 500 different generative AI models all over the world. So, you know, there are definitely maybe 1,000. ChatGPT is one of them, but there are many. There are some of them are in Chinese, some of them are in maybe like, I don't know, they might be developing here in Indonesia and other parts of the world. There are a lot of generative AI actually that large language. Okay, so I finished the two parts. One is the financial services industry is the one that is affected more than any other industry due to the generative AI, number one, and what exactly is generative AI and what it does and how it works. Non-technical way of explaining that. So we have 4 more parts to go. Maybe you might have some question to ask me before we talk a lot. Anything that you want to ask me before we go further about the finance thing? So what do you use ChatGPT for? What do you do with ChatGPT here? And I do my research with ChatGPT. I ask ChatGPT because, like before, I need to write a sentence, and it used to write in sentences. It's just not writing. In research, you have to write really in a perfect way, good way. It used to take up many minutes to write one sentence for me. Now I ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, I want to write this sentence like good. Write me 10 different ways this sentence. And most of the time, if you ask to write 10 ways, and ChatGPT gives me 10 options, and I pick the best one. Then and maybe you can so just to format one, and I go to a journal website and I read the journal paper and just copy all the part with author and title of the article and all the things and paste. And I don't even have to say anything. Just I write APA, paste that, and it understands that cites in APA format for me, perfect APA. Well, that's what I use ChatGPT most of the time. Writing my research paper very efficiently. So because of that, maybe. Salman, a second.
How is the school policy in US on the ChatGPT? Do they have formal regulation or formal policy or nothing?
So yeah, they don't have anything. But I told you yesterday that I'm the co-chair of the university level. We have a committee which formulates ChatGPT policy, generative AI policy, and so the policy is coming sometime in fall. Right now, we don't have any policy, so whatever you want to do. And the policy that we developed, just finished, is that using ChatGPT is just like giving advice or consulting with other people. Treat ChatGPT like other people. And so we have the academic integrity policy that says that if you are taking exam in my class, 2 of you cannot sit together and take exam. So just like that, you cannot take with the ChatGPT. But in my class, I tell people, students, honestly, use ChatGPT, any type of generative AI, as much as you can, because we don't have policy, and it's up to them. Some people have none. So no ChatGPT, and so they don't have any policy right now. But the thing is that the idea with all the generative AI is to do things exactly like human being.
Yeah.
That means they do like human being. And I cannot really tell you that, even I doubt like you might have used ChatGPT because I know you. Maybe you did not do it yourself, but I cannot really say anything because you did that. Maybe you did not do a good job 1 month ago. Doesn't mean that maybe you learned a lot if you did it yourself. So I cannot really blame anyone. Looks like you use ChatGPT. A lot of my colleagues do that because there are all these detectors that they claim and they are making some money by launching them, and the detections have the chat GPT, the generative AI GPT have kind of the accuracy rate of 3%. So if you do coin toss, you identify 50% correctly, right? Detect, and there is nothing available to detect. And actually, don't blame anyone. Don't say if you only doubt, and don't say that you use chat GPT. It is wrong because you cannot, because there is just like human being. So best thing is don't give them any writing. And so, like if the professors are giving just like the writing assignment, and ChatGPT can do better than that, and what is the use of that? Why are they wasting students' time asking them to write essay? And if they go to real world, they can do ChatGPT in the real world, right? They can do ChatGPT and create very good essay already, and we are basically wasting their time, in the university, asking them to write an essay, and which has no use in the real life, and that is the thing. And so basically, we have the policy that we basically release now. Still, we have to have a policy, and like we looked at all the universities, and the Harvard University has, and the University of Minnesota has, and Carnegie Mellon has, and so basically all of them have the policy is professor want to control you all over the world, like students' life, and so they say that basically in the beginning, the thing in the US is you have to be clear. When you start the semester, you have to give them the professor has to give you a document, and it has all the things, and you have to make it clear in the syllabus, and also post on whatever you are using, Blackboard or Canvas. What is your policy? So 4 different types of policy that we have. We can give professors, the university, the recommendation, or some of them can prohibit ChatGPT, generative AI. Or it is banned in my class. You cannot use. Good luck with them. They can't really identify anyone, but one is prohibited. This is prohibited in my class. Another is it is normally prohibited, but you can use in the assignment. But you have to talk with me. Professor again want to be important people, so you have to talk with me before you use ChatGPT. That is another policy. So basically, you can use. I have 5 assignments in this class. Assignment 1 and assignment 2. No generative AI. Assignment 3, 4, and 5 you can use, but you have to talk with me for that. That is another way. And third use is you can encourage. Please use ChatGPT as much as possible. And fourth, required. Mine is required. You must use ChatGPT in my class. So there are 4 different levels, but the professors can decide in the beginning of the semester which of the 4 they want to use. Yeah, up to the professor. Because we looked at all US universities, and that's what they have. Although I told you, actually, this is the latest results that done by Stanford University, and like there was this guy, an undergrad student, launched this zero GPT or something, and so all of them are useless. They don't detect anything, and they are just making money, and so they cannot detect. Again, ChatGPT writes just like human being. And it doesn't write anything like in the internet. So there is the software Turnitin, right? And Turnitin is easy because it just tells you where exactly the student copied the word from, and identifies the copy. It is easy to identify. It looks like you copied from, I can tell, and you did in my class, and you copied from one of the websites, and I can come back to, look at here, you copied from this website, and I'm giving you 0. That's right. But there is nothing to verify where you copied from. And if you ask ChatGPT one time, if you ask the thing, it gives you something. And again, I ask exactly the same thing, it gives different thing to me. She does, and it gives different thing to her. The same question every time, it gives different thing. There is no way to identify. And so basically, prohibiting ChatGPT is useless thing. And maybe that is the reason we have fewer and fewer students going to university in the US, and we lost about 3,000 students, and we had 20,000 before. We had only 17,000 now, and that is the thing. So basically, the future is that people have to use generative AI. And the only thing in my class I tell people, just tell me that you use ChatGPT. If they don't tell me, I don't know what I do, but tell me that you use this with ChatGPT, and tell what you improved. the result. Okay, you ChatGPT, get result, and you improve, because they are not good at everything. You can improve by yourself. What is the thing that you got from ChatGPT? What is the thing that improved yourself looking at the thing? And also one thing, the case that everyone talks about is in the New York City. The Avianca is the airline from Latin America and came to one time, and so they had some type of lawsuit going on, and two lawyers actually copied something and for Avianca, and they submitted something in the court. And so in the past we have this judgment, this law, and actually that doesn't exist. They were fined, $5,000 each for writing false thing. And so basically, if there is any false thing, ChatGPT doesn't know. It has no clue. It is telling you something, but it has no clue what you are asking. It has no clue. It doesn't know how to verify the information. So what it is doing is basically it is trained in those 300 million words, and so basically. Okay, next word must like to come in the sequence, So there are 300 million words, and what word comes after this word? What word comes after that? What word comes after that? Okay, it comes after that. It has no clue. It is right or wrong. It has no clue because it is trained only in 300 billion words in the internet. The internet has trillions of words. It is not trained in everything. So I have many books I have written, and I use true, false, multiple choice, and I was asking ChatGPT. It cannot answer anything from my book. Actually, most of the things from my book. So basically, it is not trained on those type of methods. So, but maybe it tells sometimes false things because it has something. It tells everything with confidence, but that is false. So basically, your job is also to make sure that what ChatGPT is giving is true. So basically, you have two things in the real world. Now, one is use ChatGPT as much as you can, and number two, you improve yourself, making sure that read that it flows well, and number two, and actually fact check everything. And because you cannot blame ChatGPT for giving wrong answer. If your thing is wrong and your supervisor is asking you, and so, I use ChatGPT, and you cannot blame other people. You should be responsible for the things that you are doing. The two things are important here. So we have this the policy, but 4 different options that we can do for this. Okay, so basically, I'll just talk about the 3 examples of financial institutions from the US, and which have high-profile generative artificial intelligence initiatives that they are using. And my first example is Ally, is a bank based in Detroit, Michigan. And then, so again, everything started after ChatGPT came, which is 2022 of November. 2022 of November, actually, not 20. Then they had the working group in early 2023 after the ChatGPT came, So then negotiation with Microsoft in February 2023, and Microsoft, because Microsoft is the company which funded OpenAI, and so basically they talked with that Ally.ai platform is zone, and so their use is in the contact center. So basically, banks do not make, normally many banks, big banks, do not make ChatGPT available to customer. So basically, ChatGPT they can incorporate with the company's documents, and you can go to the company's website and ask things like. Long ago, you can just do search. Go to the website and do search, and then the thing is to match your keyword and give you some references. But now, some companies have, like if you go to Kayak or Expedia, these companies use some type of plugin, ChatGPT. And so long ago, maybe you have to say you want to go from, Jogja to Jakarta, and what is the cheapest ticket and you give different date, and different date it will give you option. It will give you something flexible. This day it is this. Now like, okay, now you can ask questions like simple way that human beings speak. So yeah, I want to go to Jakarta from January 11 to March 15. I want to leave early morning and reach Jakarta as fast as possible. And can you tell me the cheapest ticket? And I also need the hotel. The hotel in Jakarta should be the cheapest that time. And so basically that type of thing was not possible in the past. Now, because they combine the chat GPT, which is trained with 300 billion words with the company's document, the different airline schedule and all that documents, and it can tell you, oh, okay, I checked from January 11 to March 15, and this date looks like the cheapest one, and then and the hotel in Jakarta cost only this much. Hotels are actually free that time in Jakarta, and so you can take advantage of that. They have exact information. You don't have to really go that day. So January 11 to March 15. Okay, let's try January 11 to 1, and again try another weekend. Again try another weekend. Try another weekend. We some the cheap. You don't do that, and basically that type of thing is possible. But banks cannot do that because like banks are really dealing with sensitive data, and if anything happens, banks face a lot of pressure, and so that's why so they use the call center. Contact center is basically the use is the employees actually 700 people in the contact center. Contact center normally, apparently, I don't know if you have worked in call center that dealing with these customers, and then some customers, really angry customers, and so basically, and it is very difficult. And sometimes you have to also write what the customer is saying. So basically, talk with customer, write what the customer is saying, again talk with them. And now, and it automatically transcribes for you, and you don't have to. At least the writing part is taken care of. And then, and also 700 agents are already using that from July 31 to. So the case in the Ally Bank from Detroit was in the call center, mainly transcribing rather what the customer is saying, and also it tells you actually many of the apps how to speak with customers in a better way, so that they don't get angry with you, and so that type of thing also it tells you, and so that's what the company has been using for 700 agents. So real-time transcription is what it was saying, and manual. So pilot phase conducted from June to July. So in the pilot phase, so don't talk with the real customer. Actually, before that, don't talk with the real customer. And you are an employee, I'm another employee. You call me, and see how it is working. That was the first phase. Then the second phase is manual review by agents, ensure accuracy. So and maybe the transcription thing, what the customer is saying, and they have to transcribe. And in the beginning, the accuracy rate of accuracy is a low teen. That means teen means 13 to 18. 13 to 19 rather, and low teens 13% accuracy in the beginning, but later 78% by July. So 78% accuracy. Nothing is accurate in the world, but it is transcribing with 78% accuracy, and in the beginning only 13 or 14%. This is a good progress, and that's what it was. And the Ally Bank, based in Detroit, Michigan, and so fundamental principle is human intervention. Don't allow the generative AI to do everything for you. Human should be, in the human in the loop. That's what they say. And don't allow the generative AI to make all the decisions for you. And also, PII is personally identifiable information. Is very protecting. That is very important. And so basically, okay, when you do that, when you are talking with me, I'm the call center person, and I have to verify that I'm talking with the right person. I ask you, what is your name? What is your maybe the date of birth? What is your number? And all that personally identifiable is your address. And so basically protecting that. And so basically what happens is that after your call with me is over, all the personally identifiable information is automatically deleted. I don't have to say which one is personally identifiable information. It automatically identifies the personally identifiable information about you. It deletes all the things after your call and my call is over. And so basically, because that is very important in bank, personally identifiable information. If they have that, they can use that to get loan for you and apply for credit card, and which is very important. And unlike many of the low risk environment, and banks deal with the personally identifiable information, and that's what they do. And so, and then another use is in marketing. Again, every industry, marketing is one of the main uses, because why marketing is one of the main uses. And so maybe in the future, and if you talk with a lot of these companies, and they say that no, we are not really replacing any people. Maybe that is not necessarily true. They are actually replacing a lot of people. But they say that mostly we are doing augmentation. Augmentation means employees can use artificial intelligence to become more productivity. That's more productive. That's what they are saying that they are utilizing that. But marketing is one area actually. So they are using that. And actually anything related to language. And they say that they don't need English language teachers anymore in the US, or they don't need history teacher. What do you do with history teacher? And this type of history, and ChatGPT can describe any history better than the teacher. And why do you need teacher anymore? So basically, these are the jobs being replaced in marketing people, and that's what they say are being replaced more and more. And so basically, marketing, and they did the marketing, a lot of things they use in marketing, average efficiency improvement of 34%, creating advertising copy and images and all that thing. And so basically that strategy is balancing the innovation and risk. There are two things. So I'll talk more about the strategic part later. And so basically innovation is, this is a very powerful innovation, but it has a lot of risk, and regulators are asking you to make sure that you don't discriminate against people, and making sure that you maintain privacy and security of data, and all those things are important. And so that's what the Live Act is doing. This is number one case. Number two case is South State, and it is one of the banks based in Florida. And South State has the TED is some type of app. And so what they did was they trained ChatGPT with their own documents, company's documents. And that's why they create TED. TED is a short form of South State, the last 4 words, and TED is an app that they use internally. The people use internally. So they created Spark Innovation Group, and all these things are recent. If you look at the Ally Bank, and again, the thing is that the ChatGPT came in November 2022, and all the company's innovation started after that. Actually, May 2023 launched the group, and then brainstorming session. And so basically, in my book, I have explained that in very detail about how the things took place. And it is not like 2 or 3 people work to develop. And so there was a big group of people from the bank. And so what are the things that are possible? Don't worry about money, and don't think it is expensive. Don't worry about regulation. And so basically create first 1,000 ideas. Then from those 1,000 ideas, then eliminate ideas, because these are illegal. These cost a lot of money. And so basically that's what they came out, what are the constraints and all that thing. That's what South State Bank did. Documents and data, excluding customer information. They have a lot of documents, policy documents. Bank university has a lot of documents as well. So what is their policy? What is their policy about students? What is their policy about professors? So basically all that documents. And it is not open source. They call it closed source. That means, so it is only available to the bank people, not to the outside one. And so Azure is the Microsoft company's app, and so OpenAI, Azure OpenAI combines basically available that service all over the world, and then combines with the OpenAI cognitive search and Azure App Services. So and the company did not really spend a lot of money, and so it is really cheap. 50,000 and monthly testing, and then operational cost of 80,000, 30,000, total 80,000. 80,000 is not a lot of money for a bank. It is a big bank. 80,000 is nothing for them, and that's what they used. And 2,000 employees. The company has 5,000 employees. The bank has, and maybe 2,000 employees are expected to use in the future. And commercial loan policies and branch procedures and all that thing. And productivity boost is 5 to 8 times. Within 2 months. So basically, developed in May, within 2 months, 5 to 8 times productivity increase. And so also less than 32 seconds time. I have actually. Okay, so this is from the Southwest Bank. So like I have later, the time saving. And when you are talking with people these days, long ago, to answer one thing. If you ask me something, I'm the bank employee, I don't have the answer. I don't remember, 1,000 page document, everything, and but I know how to search, and I search in the company's intranet, and then I'll answer it. And in the average, it used to take 7 minutes, 420 seconds in 7 minutes before. Using the company's intranet search, 420 minutes. Maybe that is the average time. Some people could answer in 1 minute, some people could answer 30 minutes, and average time is that. And with the TED, searching on TED. TED is now OpenAI, the ChatGPT thing plus bank's document trained together, and the TED search will take 32 seconds. This 32 seconds is what they are saying. But if you write prompt in a very effective way, then it can answer in the average in 15 seconds, half of that. So that's what it was saying before actually. So that so 32 seconds is that actually. 32 seconds is when you ask the TED anything that you want to answer, because TED, you don't have to search. Before search and use some keyword, then find that, and that is not the thing, and you have to read it yourself. Now the TED will give you answer now. And this is the third case that I'm talking here is the JP Morgan, and I think that is the biggest bank in the US. Workforce focus, and Jamie Dimon is the CEO of JP Morgan, and he says that 600 machine learning engineers, that's what the company has built, 600 machine learning engineers. That is a bank has 600 machine learning engineers, not the finance people. Banks need finance people, but banks need more machine learning engineers because finance is all machine learning. And they have 300 internal applications, artificial intelligence applications, 300 different applications that they have, and 600. And the company job, actually 10% of the job that mentions AI. So if you want to work in JP Morgan, good to have finance training, but they want AI people. So that's what it's saying. And also they have index GPT. So just like the ChatGPT, index GPT patent, they have filed in the US Patent Office. And the index GPT is basically you want to make investment. And where exactly you have to make investment. Making investment is very difficult decision. So you want to buy the Apple company stock or Google stock or the S&P 500 stock, or the Dow, and many different sources. And what are your conditions, like how much money you have and what is the risk that you take. And it is very difficult to make that decision. And maybe many people pay a lot of money to financial advisor. Go to financial advisor, and actually financial advisor take like a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars. And if you are investing $1 million with people with a lot of money, and they can pay like $50,000 per financial advisor. That's a lot of money. Okay, now financial advisor, most of them do not do anything. They just take your money, and actually, if you do yourself, you actually do better than financial advisor. And why waste financial advisor money with financial advisor if you can just ask the index GPT? So basically, that's what they have the patent. Ask index GPT, and it gives you just like ChatGPT. ChatGPT writes better English than 99.9999% of human beings. Okay, why you learn English anymore with people writing English? Learn with ChatGPT. Just like that. Why you pay financial advisor to make investment decisions? So basically, ask the index GPT. So it is still patently not launched. But the company definitely has a plan to launch in the future index GPT training in all the things, and index GPT for the clients, and they have that. Continue to that.
Yeah. How do we train that GPT to learn the document and so on? Then it's for software, way to train that GPT.
Yeah, I think if you have the enterprise GPT, GPT-4, you can do simple type of training. Actually, like upload different documents, and you can do that. But I think it is a little bit more sophisticated, and they have to they use a little bit for the entire company. But simple training, I think you can do that, so that they develop some.
So basically, it has 15 more documents.
Right, your document, and basically not the chat GPT. Actually, that is the GPT-4, that type of thing, and you have to pay money to the company. And the free version probably you cannot, but the version that after paying money and you have the paying customer and you can train that.
The more readings they read, the more articles they read, then they become smarter.
Right. Basically, you give all the company documents, whatever you want to train, and basically, for you personally, I think the way that you can do is you can give all the articles that you have written, and then okay, basically Mondu that Mondu GPT, and that can answer everything that you've done so far. Basically, what is the thing, and but it is trained only in your document. But basically, it is trained in that document. And training is, I think, it is an easy process that many companies are using. So if you go to Alibaba, the e-commerce company, they actually launched I think they call the Logi chat long ago, and Logi chat basically and it is publicly available. You go to the company's website, Alibaba company's website. That is also in Bahasa Indonesia, by the way. Yeah. Go to Alibaba company's Indonesian website, ask anything in Bahasa Indonesia, any product. You don't really have to search. Okay, you want to buy like some type of smartphone Apple, and so basically compare smartphone Apple, smartphone Samsung, and all of it. Or I have this type of thing. This is my requirement, and what are the choices that it gives you choices. So basically it gives you in Bahasa Indonesia, but it is basically they took the Microsoft OpenAI Azure that they are already using that, and then they train the company's documentation. So normally the way that big companies normally they work with Microsoft and OpenAI and Azure platform, and then they upload the documents and they train that way. So I think that automatically that is the feature that they can use. But probably for individuals, and maybe I think you can just a paid version and you can upload some documents. I haven't done that personally myself, but a lot of people do that already. Actually, I haven't paid anything so far.
For example, if you want that it become expert in Indonesia, then we just upload any Indonesia document, and then they become smarter in Indonesia things.
Yeah, probably, like as a company, you don't have that incentive. It is a lot of money. That costs a lot of money for a company, and you just focus on your company document, specific company document. And all these finance company focus, they have their own GPT, but that is only for the finance, So specialized for finance, and so that they can make money selling their money. And because developing, what I think is developing a good chat GPT type of application for Bahasa Indonesia is a lot of money, and only for a company's perspective that doesn't make any sense, that investment sense, unless you are planning to sell that to everyone and make money by kind of allowing them to utilize that. For your company use, probably that doesn't make sense, but bring the Bahasa Indonesia version of ChatGPT and then train with the documents and whatever the customer document and develop specific application with yours rather than the entire thing. That's what it should be. But the Bahasa thing, maybe some technology companies should, not done so that everyone can use, and they should have some way of making money from that. Okay, so Index GPT is the patent that the company filed, and so basically the company's goal is 15 billion technology investment in 2023 and save cost saving of $3 billion. Basically, they use less employees. So basically, they can the ChatGPT and other types of things, right, can code for them, and that's what they want to say. And only from that, the first bullet point here is about the investment in total technology, but only in AI, $1.5 billion business impact. So and infrastructure modernization initiative, and so basically it has a lot of things and emphasizing more and more on the machine learning and AI. And so one thing is the fraud detection. Fraud is very big problem. I don't know, maybe in Indonesia also, Malaysia has a lot of fraud actually, and so that is a big problem actually. I personally became victim in Malaysia one time. They stole a lot of my money from my debit card one time, and so basically the crimes are everywhere, financial crime, and they have to stop this fraud. And the most serious one is the business email compromise. Do you know what that is? Business email compromise means basically, that is not only they send you an email, and the email says that it came from your company CEO. And it is very urgent. Don't tell anyone. That's what the email. Don't tell anyone, and do this now in 1 hour time. Don't tell anyone, because like after you do it successfully, I'll promote you. Just keep it secret. And so your job is just to send them, just 1 trillion rupiah to an account, because they have to do some business thing, urgent thing, and you send $1 trillion because it is coming from the company's executive team. And you send $1 trillion, and after that you find that actually this is not, their money is gone actually. And you send $1 trillion to Malaysia, and from the Malaysian account it goes all over the place. Like some of the money goes to Hungary, some of the money goes to Latvia, some of the money goes to Mexico. Your money is gone, and there is no way to get back money. And so that is coming from, this is business email compromise. And they are becoming smarter and smarter, because ChatGPT makes them smart. Long ago, the criminals did not write good English, did not write good Bahasa Indonesia. Now, if I want to be a criminal and write, I have no idea how to use this Bahasa Indonesia. I haven't learned, but I can write almost perfect Bahasa Indonesia and send you an email like a company CEO, and how to stop that type of thing. And that's what the company is using, the business compromise. And also, but this is one of the components. Most banks in the US have banned ChatGPT. You cannot use ChatGPT. Actually, other companies, Samsung has banned. Basically, Samsung has a few problems, and employees uploading their codes. Okay, so basically you don't know if you are not sure about the software code, like just ask ChatGPT. Okay, does this code look good? ChatGPT tells you this code has a problem. And but like the code is not. This is not private. The code is used by OpenAI to train their models, and also there is some problem with the OpenAI. Apparently, there was one breach one time that allowed me to see other people's problem, what they were asking, and basically a lot of problems. So Samsung had a couple of those problems, and one person the meeting transcribed the meeting confidential things in the meeting. So basically, banks have most of the banks, big banks have banned the ChatGPT. And also before, here in this one, okay, so this is some type of pipeline approach. Pipeline approach means somewhere all these banks use, when they use this pipeline approach, means the data only flows from your company, because you are using ChatGPT, goes from your company to OpenAI, and OpenAI to your company. Doesn't go in. It is you create some type of pipeline, but of course you have to pay extra money for doing that. And the idea is to make sure that your data doesn't go outside. Most banks use that. Data pipeline approach means making sure that the data doesn't go outside the pipeline. So fraudulent activity, unstructured data, and that's what they do. And okay, accuracy, reliability. Okay, so basically also there is a lot of things about misinformation. From misinformation means ChatGPT gives you false information. Actually, if I ask about my name and who is this person, and it gives a lot of things incorrect about me actually. So basically, working in different places and publishing different things, and so you have to verify that misinformation. That is important. So these are 3 companies, banks, that have been using OpenAI, ChatGPT, and other applications, and developing their own generative AI, like the JP Morgan's Index GPT. That's what I used here. And the fourth part, I think, here is the benefits and facilitators. What are the benefits that financial institutions are getting, and what are the facilitators, and also what are the disadvantages and barriers. And so that's the thing that I am focusing on. So I have only one slide about the benefits and facilitators, and so lasting benefits and advantages, and that is one thing. Lasting benefits, advantages means increasing productivity by 20 to 30% days, and increasing the revenue by 6% days, and that's what we talked earlier. Like that is from the one of the research reports that auctions your companies report that we're saying. And also they have a lot of data. Banks have a lot of data compared to any other companies. Banks have a lot of data about customers, and they can take advantage of that data. And so long ago, maybe if you go 10 years back, 20 years back, the only type of data that they can use are these numbers, the structured data, quantitative data. So that was 20 years ago. And the only thing that most finance people doing research, they use the software like SaaS companies, software to analyze data. But later, actually, SaaS company later even launched in the text analysis software. And this is, the structured data banks have been using for a long time. But they have a lot of data about customers. Why not to use that data in a better way? So that is the idea here. Data is a special type of resource, and that is the idea. Efficiency enhancements across function, and there are different types of data. Marketing people have different data, customer department they have different data, and the human resources have different data, and they don't really share data with each other, and they call the data silos. And so basically making sure that all the data are utilized. And the generative AI applications work both ways when it comes to grant. And criminals use courts write perfect English so that you think that the email actually came from CEO. Most of the criminal people, aside criminals, are from Russia. Russians are not good in writing English. And so long ago, they did not really write good English. And okay, so the email comes to me. Oh, I know from your email, and you are my no. These days they can write ChatGPT writes English for them and perfect English. And so basically that is one thing. But also generative AI also works as the cybersecurity. And where exactly my code has a problem that the hackers can exploit, find problem here, or looking at this email, and this email is real or false, coming from a CEO or not. And if you give, the emails that your CEO has been sending it to you, and it just tell you it is not from your CEO, and so basically cybersecurity is that. And synthetic data. So synthetic data is very important innovation. And if you do not know synthetic data, so there is data about you and me, and data about you and me that all banks have. Very detailed data about you and me. But that is private data. They cannot really use your data and my data to train any type of algorithms. But the artificial intelligence, generative artificial intelligence made it possible to create, they call synthetic data. Synthetic data means from your data, my data, and other hypothetical data, it is possible to create new type of identity. That identity is not real person. Because that identity is not real person, we don't really need to worry about privacy violation, because you created a synthetic person. Synthetic person is very important. And then you can use the synthetic person's data, create millions of them, and to train your algorithm. Because they cannot use my real person's data because of privacy, the concerns that the government have, but you can use that synthetic data to create that. Actually, synthetic data is entirely new industry. Synthetic data means, like in China, e-commerce. E-commerce is really big industry in China, and they use a thing known as a live stream. Live streaming means, you want to buy my company's product, and so I'm doing live streaming, and then, live streaming, I'm explaining all my company's product and live, real 24 hours. And so you can hire people like me, and I can explain, you can come and ask questions. That is live streaming. Live streaming is very expensive, and you have to pay apparently $7,000 per month to hire me to live stream. Now, artificial intelligence can create a person exactly like me. Better than me, actually. And it can do live streaming for you. Just tell them, give the thing what the person has to say, and it says exactly the thing. And the artificial intelligence actually companies provide that for $70. You're paying $7,000 before for the real person doing thing, and very likable person, better than me, they can pay it for $70. It speaks and better, it answers all the questions and synthetic data. And there is another company. Apparently, Chinese government has another propaganda department, and they want to create something about misinformation about the US. And so what they've done is they have two people. They look like TV people from the US, like Western-looking type of people, and they are from a television company. The television company doesn't even exist, and the people are not real people, but they have millions of fans. So basically, a lot of people, real people, are fans of those synthetic persons. Synthetic persons are easy to create. You can create in whatever way you like, and so and synthetic data has a lot of uses here these days, and you can use them to train your different programs, and that's what banks can do. And it is important for banks because of the privacy concerns. Again, they cannot use real people's data for training all these algorithms, and that's what. And there are also barriers in the disadvantages and barriers, and the explainability challenge. All these generative AI, they have a program, and if you have some type of program, statistics, data analysis, you can go to the code and say, okay, I have this code, and this code is asking the program to give this output. That's what you say. You can explain. But these people created, there is no program. And even the creators, if you ask OpenAI how ChatGPT functions, OpenAI really has no clue. OpenAI cannot explain it to you. And so, how the output came? What is your basis of coming to the output? You cannot explain. So explainability is the main concern in artificial intelligence. You must be able to explain. And your bank, you are a bank, and you refused my loan application because and then you can say that the generative AI will give your data, generative AI, and so basically generative AI told me not to give you loan. But because generative AI cannot explain that is a problem. And there is a lot of misuse of ChatGPT. Actually, like I go to this country of Colombia often, and there was a judge in a court actually, and there was a case going on, and the judge actually asked ChatGPT. So, do you think ChatGPT, this person should be given allowance for the children allowance? And whatever ChatGPT said, the judge actually did that. So that is a misuse of thing. Explainability is a big problem. And actually, I don't think that Indonesia has a law. In the US, we do not have a law. And the European Union's EU Artificial Intelligence Act that came in December of last year, actually, it doesn't allow to make any decision, very important decision, like based on this artificial explainability problem. And sophisticated fraud, there are these. And so number 3 is banks are really, really good at structured data. That's what they have been doing for many, many years. But when it comes to unstructured data, they cannot really do a lot of things with unstructured data. That is number 3. And customer-facing interaction. We can use a lot of things for the internal applications, like basically communicating with you, writing codes, and like I'm a customer service representative, like the Ally Bank or Southwest Bank, and looking for information. But when it comes to giving people access to your data, customers your access to your data, like the ChatGPT thing on your website, you cannot do that. And so regulatory constraint is other thing, and you cannot use ChatGPT for a lot of things actually, or any type of generative AI. The regulators have banned the use of ChatGPT for the bank because they call, even the European Union EU Artificial Intelligence Act called that high risk type of application. High risk type of application, you should not use generative AI. Human being must make all the decisions actually. Okay, you can use generative AI, but the decision making phase should be done by human beings. So these are the some of the things. Next item here, this is the 5th one, is the strategic imperative for financial institutions, generative artificial intelligence adoption, and I'll talk about a little bit about that. And if you have taken any strategy management class, and strategic management class, they say that agile strategic planning system. So basically, things change in the environment. Your strategy should be formulated in such a way that you can quickly change them. Whenever things rise, you can change them. And so basically, and you're selectively addressing immediate concerns and internal and external conditions and emerging challenges, and you have to do that. And so when it comes to the generative AI, so it has short-term as well as long-term consequences. And so that's why they are doing a lot of short-term things in deploying right now, like the Ally Bank or the Southwest Bank did, and also long term, like the JP Morgan has developed index GPT. So basically short term as well as long term applications. And you have to be, if you want to be competitive and just giving the services that you are doing now, and that is not sufficient, and maybe you should do index GPT type of thing. And so basically that is the type of thing that the companies are doing. So external factors determine your strategic planning process, and even strategy management, they call the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis. And so basically strength and opportunity and threats, a lot of them are being created by the external environment, by the introduction of the technology, regulatory environment, and all the things. And so that is very important. And also investors want more and more return. If I'm investing in a bank, and I'm expecting more return from my investment. And so, and if you are still using the old-fashioned way and using real people, and you are not really making money for me. And so basically, that is called stockholder-centric bias. That means these companies in the US do not care about anything else. Long ago in 1980s, they were doing a philanthropic thing, doing good thing for the society. They are not doing anymore. Or they say that they are doing good things for the society, but they don't do. And they do this way in the US. So, okay, I'm in the bank, and so in the Senate and House have the bank financial committee, and the financial committee has a chair. Okay, financial committee chair is from Sumatra, district number 5, and I'm spending all my philanthropic money to the district number 5, because I say that is philanthropic, but because I'm giving that district number 5 in Sumatra, so that I'm helping the financial committee chair to win the election next time, so that the financial committee chair is giving me better policy to my company. And so that's what they do. And so what I'm saying is they don't do any philanthropic thing anymore compared to 1980s. Like the US companies were spending 2% to 3% in philanthropic thing. They do something like 0.5%. Everything in the US is about making stockholder higher return, because if they don't do, the CEO will lose their job. If I'm a CEO, it doesn't matter. I'm doing a lot of good things for the society, but it is not creating any real value for my company. So the most important thing is creating real value for my company, and I will be able to eliminate half of my workforce, because replace them with ChatGPT. That is good. I still have my CEO job, but my job is to make sure that everyone has a job. I'll be fired. And so that's what I'm not saying that is good thing, but that's what they are doing, and they are facing a lot of pressure from industries to increase the rate of return. And so that is it. And pressure to stay competitive in the AI space. And so there is JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, and all these banks are doing a lot of things. And so if you do not do anything related to generative AI, you will not be competitive long run. So that's what they are thinking. And so also regulatory expectation. That means you have to make sure that you are not discriminating against people, and bias and misinformation. So all these things are external factors affecting the strategy. So these are the things. And also resources, and so they have these resources, they have to change the resources. Resources means long ago they were saying physical resources, physical capital, like machines and buildings and factory, but they are not really important. And these days you need more and more intangible and digital capital. The most important these days is your data, high quality data about your company. So that's what you have to create as much as high quality data. And also human capital means we were saying that actually Morgan Stanley, the company JP Morgan has something like 600 machine learning engineers. That is human capital. Human capital means if you have all people who know only finance, not sufficient. So human capital is that. Organizational capital means they have group actually. All the banks have created centralized AI group. Big banks in the US have centralized AI group. The centralized AI group brings people from all different areas, and they develop some policy for the entire bank. So what should be the approach to develop AI policy? That is organizational. And market-based resources. relational and intellectual, like creating some type of patterns and working with customers and all that things are important. So basically, and strategic perspective means a lot of pressure is coming from external thing, and they are developing their different type of capitals, the intangible capital like data, and the human capital like the machine learning engineers, and the organizational capital like the centralized AI group working to develop different solutions, and all of them are doing that. And so all the goal is to make sure that, like instead of taking a lot of time, okay, so this is translated here as well. So this is what actually this came from the Southwest Bank's IT guy in charge, and so he was giving this hypothetical example. So if you are your bank has 100 employees, and he says exactly based in his experience developing the Southwest Bank, and all you need is 25,000 initial cost. So we're talking about the build TET. TET is the ChatGPT application trained in their bank's document. So basically, many thousands pages of documents and using the internet. So they invested 25,000. Maybe it is not like simple thing, but it is bringing a lot of things combining ChatGPT with that. And direct cost is they have to pay $50 per day for 100 employees. That is direct cost. Maybe I think they might have to pay per month to the company, OpenAI or Microsoft, for using that application, and so monthly, and so it translates to $50 per day. That's what it was saying. And then 13,000 per year of personal costing. So I did a simple thing: $50 times 365 days a year, and 5 days out of 7 days that they work, and it comes around 13,000. My own calculation actually. So he was saying 13,000, and I was curious how we got 13,000. And then okay, actually. 2 questions per day, time saving of 5,200 hours. So basically, what I'm saying is, so 2 questions. 2 questions here. This is 7 minutes. 7 minutes for 1 question. 2 questions, 40 minutes. Now 2 questions take now 15 seconds. Half a minute. So the saving for 2 questions is 13 minutes and 30 seconds, right? For 2 questions for 1 person. And that is again for 100 people. So basically, I calculated that, and actually it comes out with little more than 5,200, but like that is rough calculation. He came with 5,200 saving that way, and 5,200 saving comes out to be 442,000. Okay, 442,000 saving. And what is the investment? Investment is 25,000 plus 13,000 for 1 year, and I divided by 38,000. And the return on investment is 11.6 times. That is 11,600%. So 11,000. If anything gives you 11,600%, probably you should do that. Right? And what is the break-even point? 1 month. So 1 month you get break-even. So basically, and this probably is the best investment, looks like, the thing that actually, if I'm running a bank, I would definitely do that. This is really convincing, getting a lot of return instead of doing a lot of other things and develop simple applications and work that way. So that is the thing that I'm saying. So this is a really good strategy. Should be important part of the strategic element, and that's what I was saying. Okay, now this is the last one, and the artificial intelligence, generative AIs are being used in a lot of different applications, and so diverse usage of generative AI in financial institutions. So what I did was, these are different applications that I developed this, and so one is external customer-facing solutions. Like JP Morgan has banned, you cannot really allow use any chat GPT type of thing. So this is solutions provided by third-party vendors like OpenAI. JP Morgan doesn't use, Morgan Stanley doesn't use, and so they use this one. They are newly developed, or like the index GPT, developed entirely by the company. Either trained extensively, like the Southwest Bank did, spending $25,000. And so basically that is the thing, making sure that there is a pipeline, data pipeline means your data flows between your company and the OpenAI. Doesn't go anywhere outside. Basically they give that guarantee and develop that, and this is one. And one is you can use internally, you can use externally. So basically customers can use that. or you can use internally to facilitate your things. And so these are some of the examples. I think that's the European bank BNP Paribas. They use ChatGPT for email drafting. Actually, that is one of the main uses in universities and schools. And schools, and they have to write university. And actually, sometimes I get 2-page long email. I really do not have time to read 2-page long email, and so but I have to reply that anyways. And now these days, and I ask ChatGPT to reply this email, and or reply this email saying no. ChatGPT, yeah, ChatGPT replies the 2-page email saying no, I'm sorry, I don't have no, I don't have time, and no, don't have time reply. So ChatGPT replies, okay, then if I don't like, reply this in a more polite way. It again drafts now. No, more polite. No, it is too polite, write in informal way. And so whatever format you want. So sometimes students write me, okay, so this is, I have a big problem. My grandmother died. Their grandmothers died many times in the US, so grandmothers died, and some people have their boyfriend, girlfriend, car accident. That happens many times every semester. So okay, I have to reply that, and I did ChatGPT reply that. Sorry about the death, but you have to do that. I have to submit this grade, and maybe you can take the class next time. And so basically, I don't know how to write that. It takes a lot of me time, mental energy. But ChatGPT is not a person. People have a lot of problems. They have emotion. They have, ChatGPT doesn't have any emotion, so it can do a perfect job, writing all that again. So basically, email drafting. But in the bank's case, actually, email is okay. But if they have legal document, many of the banks do not allow. The document still has to be reviewed by the company's lawyer. Only then they can send it. But ChatGPT does a good job documenting, and maybe you just change 1% of the things. 1% of the thing, then the company's lawyer, maybe the lawyer also uses ChatGPT to verify that it is good. So basically, maybe these days they're happy with that, and that's what they use, the BNP Paribas, and they use ChatGPT actually. So ChatGPT, but only writing email, drafting email. The magnifies ChatGPT personalized data-driven investment advice, and that's what they do. And again, and regulatory finding. So basically, customer facing, and so regulatory finding, report, broker research, and it can summarize the thing actually. And ChatGPT has the limitation, and when you give the prompt, like input and output, they call the context length, it should be no more than 3,000 words. But if you have a big document, even freely available, the Anthropic company has cloud, and actually I can just upload PDF, and I can ask, can you summarize this document for in 100 words? It does perfect job for summary. Actually, I write a lot of books, and I don't write the abstract of my chapters myself, and I give cloud, write 200-word abstract for this article. It does a good job. I change a couple of words, and it becomes my chapter abstract. So basically, they do a good job summarizing all the documents. And so these are basically these applications. You don't do anything, just directly using ChatGPT. And newly developed, and so Index GPT is coming in the future. Index GPT will be better than your financial advisor that people get $50,000 a year, and actually, and they can themselves. I don't have a financial advisor. Definitely, I think that I can do myself. I don't have any finance training, but I think I can do myself better than most financial advisors. But when I use the Index GPT later, maybe definitely my financial thing may be the better investment. But so Index GPT that helps. And actually, one company is based in Netherlands. It has the same thing. That is the app, and I'm explaining more about that. And so actually, they allow this to basically they allow the generative AI thing for you to use. You can go to your account and you can ask questions, just like you ask ChatGPT. But you ask question about your account. So maybe you ask account, and you ask question. When I went to Bali last year, how much money I spent in Bali? You don't know that. So basically, okay, the Fin app, when you visited Bali last year, you spent 1 trillion rupiah. That's how much people say. 1 trillion is a lot, probably. Maybe 10 million rupiah you spend. Maybe people spend more than that. When you visited Bali last year, you spent 10,230 rupiah. So exactly because, and now you have to go to your statement when you visited in January 2015 and January 2015 and add all the things for Bali. It takes a couple of minutes of a time, 30 minutes. But It can Bali 2015 you spend 10 million rupees exactly. It can tell you the fin thing and index liquidity. And your Southwest state is used 600 page branch policy actually. Apparently their branch policy is 600 page. You know, when they have the branch policy, what the branch should do, should not do, and they integrated that with OpenAI's ChatGPT with the thing spending $25,000, and so it can answer the question. So these are the things that both internal and external process, and just the one offered by vendor like OpenAI or Google's Bard or Anthropic's Cloud and all those, or develop themselves, and these are the users. So this is the final thing that I'm talking today. And so basically value proposition. And so in marketing, that everyone talks about value proposition. Value proposition is what are the things that as a company you are offering to your customers. So generative AI helps develop or improve value proposition in many different ways. And I have talked about 3 different ways. Actually, this is not my idea. The value proposition using generative AI, ChatGPT is an article that they published in Harvard Business Review, but I tried to apply that in the context of finance, like value proposition, how financial companies can improve or generate. One thing is value proposition already being provided to customer, further improve. That means my strength is I provide you fast service. Okay, fast service means if you call me, I can answer in 7 minutes. That's what they would do. Call me, I can answer in 7 minutes. Other banks take 20 minutes to answer that call. Okay, 7 minutes. I was really fast. My bank was really fast. But now I can reduce that from 7 minutes to only 15 seconds. So value proposition is fast and even giving you providing service fast. And I was saying my bank is the most secure bank. It doesn't have any problem. It controls all the fraud. And so I have even better fraud detection tools like the ones developed by JP Morgan. So whatever I'm doing, that is the value proposition. It can help me develop, further improve the value proposition. That is number 1. And number 2 is, so I'm giving you some type of service. I'm giving you, like as a bank, services like giving you low-cost loan, and I can allow you to use my debit card or credit card, all the things. Now I can give you extra service. Extra service means the example that I was giving earlier. Now you want to know, like you want to go to Bali again now, but you don't know how much it costs. You already forgot your thing. So okay, let's see how much I spent in Bali last year, and you want to know the answer. So you can just ask the company's fin app, and it can beyond traditional platform can intelligently combine data to answer more complex questions. Like, okay, you visited a restaurant, Indian restaurant here. We have Indian restaurant here. And you don't know how much money you spend. So you like Indian restaurant a lot. And so I visited Indian restaurant, how many times I visited, and what is my average spending in the Indian restaurant. So it can exactly answer you. The average when you visited Indian restaurants here in Jogja last year 15 times, your average was 100,000 rupiah. So basically it can tell you, and so that is the extra additional service that is. So the first one is improving. Improving means reducing the time to respond from 7 minutes to 0 minutes. This one is giving additional service that I was not giving earlier. And third one is completely new type of product that you don't even know that you need that. One thing is cyber insurance. So I think this is strange because people have a lot of different insurance, like they have car insurance, they have home insurance. Many people don't have cyber insurance. And I wrote a couple of articles, and cyber insurance is really, really important that everyone should have. That's what I have written. So, but in the US, if you are a small company and you want to get cyber insurance, no one will give you cyber insurance. The insurers do not write cyber insurance for you. And it is becoming very, very expensive. Because, but if you are talking about flood insurance, the data about flood here in Jogja, they have 100-year data. So what is the risk of flood? They can exactly calculate the probability, but they cannot calculate what is the probability that your company will be hacked by this criminal. They don't have any data. So that's why it is very complicated to write. That's why they don't write. Small companies, they don't write. And small companies don't think that they need cyber insurance, and they know that with cyber insurance they'll lose a lot of money. Each cyber insurance costs, like each cyber attack costs trillions of rupiah equivalent of money. And so basically for big companies, and so small companies need that. and I cannot write cyber insurance currently because I don't have any data. Maybe your company is a very good small company and you have very low risk. But right now, I have no way of identifying that your company's risk, and maybe the generated AI helps me to identify there are all these people, and maybe I found three of you, data team, and you have very low cyber risk, and I'm writing you later, I'm offering you cyber insurance only for 10,000 rupiah a year, because I know that you have very good training of employees and all the things that I know from analyzing your data, and that is so basically cyber insurance for small, and maybe long ago just they don't think that they need this, I have to do my investment, and many people think that the only way to do investment is to have a financial advisor for me, and I pay financial advisor, let's say $20,000 a year to invest millions of dollars. Okay, so I don't even think that I can just ask a computer algorithm and can tell me, and I pay only $1 a month, so people do not even think that exists. And maybe when the index GPT comes, and right now JP Morgan is not giving this type of services, but many people do not think that if this is possible. But this is completely different value proposition that is being currently offered, and that the companies can offer with help. So these are some of the things that three ways that they can offer, and whatever you are doing. Number one, whatever you are doing, ChatGPT or generated AI helps you to in a better way. 7 minutes respond to 0 minute. Number two, it does new things. It is giving you a lot of financial services. Now you can ask specific question like how much money you are spending in Indian restaurant or your value trip. It can tell you in 0 seconds. Know that. Number three, maybe new things that customers even do not know. Customers do not know, and they do a lot of marketing. Just saying, what do you want? If I have this feature, do you buy it? Actually, the Apple founder, he said that don't ask customer. Customer do not know anything. Just give them product, design product and give it to them, only then they know. And so in marketing, all they do is customer. So basically, customers are not really thinking that they need, but you follow that with generative AI, then only then customer actually know that and know that this is good. So the thing that so those are the types of things that are possible. So I think this is all for today, and almost 2 hours time. And so if you have any question about any of the things, just email me here. You can take that screenshot or picture or whatever, and that. And so thank you for listening, and I'll just stop here and see if you have any question that you want to ask about generative. Again, this is not a research paper, but this is a chapter of my book that I'm writing. And so in the future, so again, the next visit here, I'll be maybe talking about more specific thing, in-depth thing about research and anything. Thank you, Bandhu. And so let's see if anyone has any question. Any question? Any question? Oh yeah.
Thank you, Tom, for your presentation. It's very clear and very good presentation.
Thank you very much.
Okay. My question is, with the benefit came from using general AI for bank and financial institution, does it can increase the bank security risk, especially if their bank data or customer data about the loan, the credit card data, or the saving data for customer? Does it increase the risk, bank risk about that? Thank you. So that's good.
Thank you. Actually, yeah, that is the risk only if you are using the OpenAI ChatGPT public type of generative AI. That's why they are developing their own generative AI or creating this, pipeline. Data pipeline means making sure that the data flows between your company and Microsoft. Microsoft Azure, it doesn't go outside, but you have to pay extra money for that. So because that is very important. But if you use OpenAI, ChatGPT, and you are searching about me, ChatGPT, I'm doing business with your bank, and you are curious about me, and so I applied for a loan, and so basically you ask about the, you go to OpenAI, how reliable is this person needs a free apply, and without that information, that is my name is my personally identifiable information, and you are violating a law. Actually, these days, when even the publisher actually in the academic publishing business, and recently Elsevier has a lot of policy. Elsevier says that actually. Elsevier's new policy, I was submitting a paper 2 days ago, and Elsevier publishes new policy is that you can use generative AI only for improving your sentence. Okay, you can use that, but you cannot use generative AI to write the entire paper for you. And that is their policy. Also, when I was reviewing many books for them, I reviewed a couple books, and my last review I did, I think last week, and they were saying that normally I ask ChatGPT or this encrypted cloud to summarize the thing for me. But Elsevier clearly said that I'm not allowed because they are paying me, and when someone is paying me for doing the job, and I have to follow whatever the condition is. Their condition is that I cannot upload any of the things in generative AI. Okay, so basically I'm reviewing your book, then I should read that and I should do the review myself. I'm uploading that and I'm violating the thing that like the severe company is saying that. So basically, the thing that if I'm doing business with you, my condition is that you do not publicly make my information available to others, and you leave everything if you are in the public. But you can use your own the generative AI.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other? Azure from the Microsoft, it's not free. Right?
Yeah, Azure is not free. You have to pay Azure, but it automatically comes with I think it automatically comes with like whatever the GPT-4. If you are using Azure search, it's available all over the world. I think 40 countries. I think it's not free. Even Microsoft Word is not free, right? And you have to pay for everything, right?
Yeah.
Here free.
Yeah, here probably university paid, and that's why it's free. And so yeah, it is free. My computer I'm using free because the university pays for that. But
If let's say Indonesian company, small Indonesian company, small size, want to take advantage of ChatGPT for this ChatGPT to improve their business, either marketing, operational, whatever. What do you suggest? What should they do?
I think probably the best thing is just like the Southeast Bank here, State Bank, South State Bank, basically okay, if they want to do free like me, just use as much as ChatGPT to be more effective and give 90% of the work to ChatGPT, and reply email using ChatGPT and all the things with ChatGPT, and as far as it's possible, do only the things to improve. And so if you are ChatGPT to create marketing copy, so I'm a small company based in Jogja. My business is fashion for these teenagers, males, and so write an ad for me. ChatGPT will write. Or I didn't like this. Write me again. Oh no, I did not like. Okay, ChatGPT is not human being. If human being, if you ask me the same thing 20 times, I can do 19 times. 20 times, like this is too known. I don't know to do it. But you can ask ChatGPT 100 times because ChatGPT doesn't get angry. So basically, use all the things to do your marketing, to do your human resources thing, and do the things just to improve, or do the things that the government says don't use, like uploading personally identifiable information. And maybe if you are doing student, and maybe the student personally identifiable information, maybe the full name should not be included in ChatGPT. Maybe you might be violating that. And so basically taking advantage of as much as possible. Or the small company, they are developing their own thing. So if they are, they have 20 people helping 20 customer service agents helping people, then probably it makes sense to develop this type of program. Like all the companies, 600 page, 20 page, 50 page policy, and combining that with the OpenAI, ChatGPT. But if it is not really bank type of company, they don't have to have this lot of money spending. Basically, they can develop at a kind of cheaper price, and so basically, so that way helps make that efficient. Or if you are a food company like a restaurant, then it also helps. what people like and doing research and what is the general training in Jogja and those type of things, helps in anything, marketing research. And so there is nothing that generative AI cannot do. So we were talking about AI, like other types of AI in the past, and they mainly replaced the blue collar worker. Like in the factory, robots came and they replaced that. But generative AI is replacing day-to-day operations of companies. Okay, not like the factory. Just like the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, they replaced all factory people. But it is good because the factory people got a better job, so they have to train, So don't train anymore to do the manual work. The robots will do that, and so maybe they were training high quality work. Here also maybe. And so basically, generative AI helps everything, the day-to-day operations of all the companies all over the world. So that's why it is powerful. So basically, virtually there is nothing that generative AI cannot do. And free version, paid version, depending on that, and developing their own thing. And so that's what they should be thinking about.
We write sentence for the promotion.
Exactly. Promotion.
Then you don't have to hire
Exactly.
something. Right?
Exactly. So anything from this side, because there are questions too from this side, and maybe you should try to ask something.
Thank you, Professor Neil. It's very insightful for me.
Thank you.
My question is regarding comparison between econometrics and then machine learning, because this is the subset of machine learning. When we develop our research, especially in our program, we encourage to find the proper theory to develop our research.
Right. Yeah.
And when we using, for example, the machine learning, deep learning, and then because this is based on the data center, and then everything based on the data quality, right? And then what happened in the process, we don't know.
Exactly.
Right. So my question is how we can make some conclusion about what the parameter, because we don't know the process. And then how we can make conclusion, because the machine learning generative AI just give us the output, right? And then when I arrange some for example proper policy for some cases, and then how I know I develop good policy because I don't know the parameter. And then what your opinion about this?
Yeah, when you are using again the generative AI to develop policies for your company, write policies for your company, and you can just give parameters and it will write policies for you.
Yeah.
But that is the reason generative AI. So this is generative AI. I think they are using something like AGI, that is artificial generative intelligence. That is the next phase.
Yeah.
Maybe in 10 years' time, they do what you are describing. But right now, they still need human beings, smart people like you. And so that is exactly for the jobs that the generative AI cannot do. So there are some of the things generative AI can do, and use generative AI to do that. And so not understanding is okay probably, because I drive car, you drive car, but I have no idea how the car thing works. And I cannot even fix any whiteboard if it is not working, and I cannot fix any tire. And so basically I understand nothing, but I can still drive car, that is the thing. And maybe that's problem. Just like that, maybe, you should use that, but still they say the human in the loop. That means, there are more sophisticated work that machines are not as good as human beings. So ChatGPT is really good in processing words, and so it can look at 300 billion words that were given to them, written by human being, real human being, all over the world, trained on that, and it exactly knows how to write a good sentence. But it has no clue like what that means, and it has no way to go and verify this that whatever claim it is making is true or false. So that's why human beings still need it. But they say that AGI, So this is GAI, and AGI is the next phase in 10-year time. And so the idea is to make it like the human being, functioning like human being. And in that case, maybe it is possible to do more and more things. But right now, human beings are needed still.
And then my last question is how to reconcile because we develop our research, for example, using data driven, and then we need a theory to justify our result, for example. And then sometimes our professors ask what kind of theory that is proper to explain your report, for example, because we just depend on our data, and then we find a good model for our data, and then so
Right. Yeah. So what is your major? Like what area?
finance.
Finance. Okay. So maybe the best way to do that is like the journals, all journals, finance, like the Journal of Finance or whatever journal, maybe 100 different journal, all the articles, So you should add to the ChatGPT and develop just like the Southwest Bank did, and maybe then ask what theory I can apply now, and it does the job. But right now it is not trained in your finance. Maybe it has 1 or 2 finance paper trained, but not like the 10,000 finance papers. So develop with 10,000 finance papers, then it can answer some of the questions. But this academic research doesn't have any money. Like basically, very few of the academic research has any real world applications, and that's why there is no money, no investor investing in that type of thing. But maybe like I think I see India and China, and so like if you are publishing in Journal of Finance, your paper is about to publish, and you sell authorship for $50,000. So you can buy $50,000, and I'll give you second author. So they do that in China, and like and Journal of Finance example. I don't think that people publish a lot from Journal of Finance, but they sell authorship. So basically, first author is available, second author is available, or first author is not available, you want to be, and second author, third author, fourth author is available, and I want to sell that. And maybe what I'm saying is, if there is that type of incentive, and it might be like you upload all 100,000 financial papers and develop like that, and then this is the data, analyze the data, and write theory also based on all this, and it does. I'm sure it does better job than most of the human being researchers, but there is no one to invest in that one. So it doesn't have any application, doesn't have money saving. But academic research has more value if you go to the real world. Medical science, medical science, all the like top journal like New England Journal of Medicine, all the doctors read that. But I don't think that anyone reads Journal of Finance, the bank executives. Journal of Finance is read by only academic. That's why there is not a lot of thing, but it is possible to do that actually. That also, as far as I know. But right now, there is nothing available, so you have to write your own theory until they develop that. But maybe in the future, just pay 10,000 rupiah subscription and write finance paper. Possible. After this time.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything more that anyone wants to ask?
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Romeo, for your insightful presentation. It's very interesting in discussing ChatGPT because I generate my question with ChatGPT.
Great. Okay. Okay. That is nice. Yeah. And did you also improve the a little bit, or you are just asking what?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why ChatGPT is very important to transform knowledge.
Right.
Okay. Okay. In my question, in my opinion, ChatGPT or machine learning applied in financial industry, especially in fintech, can gather more information, thus improving risk mitigation, and also make company to be more efficient in operation. So it can make the borrowing costs will be lower.
Yeah.
However, in developing economy like Indonesia,
Mm.
the borrowing costs for fintech-based loan are still higher
Mhm.
compared to conventional loans.
Right.
What is your opinion on this? And does it have any connection with the policy of authority in each country? Maybe in monetary policy, maybe in uh, some central bank or financial authority create policy to make a limit borrowing cost or threshold borrowing cost for fintech industry. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think the one of the things is probably I think the way to reduce borrowing cost would be and like using more generative AI. That is one thing, but more importantly, maybe the reason for higher borrowing cost is the higher risk profile of the borrower, right? Because you think that I'm highly risky person, I may or may not pay your money, and that's why you are charging me high interest. That's the thing, and maybe like you should use generative AI to identify the borrower's risk profile, and if there are those people with low risk profile, then you should give them at a lower rate, and so banks should give them at a lower risk. And it is both, it is good for the borrower, good for the lender also. So basically lowering that, and because I don't have high risk profile, and that may be one way. So how do they identify my risk profile? If, there is a little bit information about me and what I do. I'm a professor of finance here at the university, and so basically, I might have paid most of my thing, or in the past. And so basically, based on that, they can identify. Okay, maybe social media profile, and based on all that thing, maybe make use of more data. The reason that the borrowing costs are high is because they are not taking advantage of data about consumers, because data do not exist a lot, and basically that might be the thing. And also I don't know, the policymakers might also want to analyze in other parts of the world, and ChatGPT or other generative AI can identify why is that high in Indonesia compared to other parts of the world. What are some of the ways to reduce that? But I think the most important thing here is again the risk profile, or the lack of enforcement from the government. Sometimes maybe if I do not pay back my loan, and there is not a lot of penalty for me, and so that might be the thing. And some of the things cannot be controlled. This is the country specific thing, and you cannot really do anything against the people who do not pay the loan and that type of thing. But some of the things can be lower. So I don't think that I have any kind of definite answer for that. But definitely, people like you later should solve this problem, so that everyone can benefit that. And generative AI will definitely help a lot in this case, I think.
Another question? One more. Oh, Ane, yeah. For your thesis.
Thank you for your presentation, Professor Nier. You mentioned earlier that financial advisor role might be replaced by ChatGPT like application. So can you suggest us on how financial practitioner can remain competitive in labor market for near future? Maybe.
So I think, like just looking at the companies, maybe the best they can take advantage of generative AI to do their finance job, and so that might be one possibility. And also, they should definitely have knowledge about the generative artificial intelligence, not only about the finance knowledge. So basically, to become more competitive, and I think. There is a survey actually at the International Monetary Fund, and a lot of these companies have done a survey, and so they think that even the top financial executives think that their job will be replaced by all the generative AI in the next 10 years. So the best way would be, and all these banks need fewer people. That means, those people who get job is basically those who can augment using generative AI. What things are that generative AI can already do? And what are the things that generative AI cannot do, and you should do it? And that changes over time. And what generative AI can do right now is limited. Next year, it will be really, really powerful. Next year, it will be more powerful. And so basically, it is changing thing. And maybe the best thing for this financial professional is to keep track of the things. What is generative AI is capable of doing right now? What is the thing that you can do? They still need you. And so again, looking at the JP Morgan and all those companies, and they say that most of your job listing has the machine learning and AI. And actually, the Resume Builder is a kind of human resources type of company. And last year we did a survey sometime in February, and it was saying 90% of the recruiters, they were saying that ChatGPT is a skill that helps in the job market already long ago, not only the finance, in general type of job. Because, again, we are talking about robots long ago replacing the blue collar workers in the factory. And now, this generative AI really transfers every function that the business is doing, like marketing, human resources management, call center, research and development. And if we are talking about research and development, writing code and writing, all this chemical formula, can do everything. And if the ChatGPT is not doing right now, and what you can do is, if you are a chemical company, and like there are a lot of chemical documents and develop your own chemical GPT. There is everything GPT. That there is fraud GPT that criminals have developed, and any type of GPT. There is kind of, you can even develop this university GPT, and so any type of GPT. Maybe chemical companies can develop their own GPT, and so that is more powerful at solving chemical problems. So basically, that this generative AI is affecting every occupation in any type of company in the world. And so basically, the only way to remain competitive is, again, the augmentation. What is that generative AI can do? What is that they cannot do? And how it is changing over time? And so maybe next year is it becoming more and more powerful? Human beings are like us, and I don't think that next generation will be much different from this generation. Maybe a little bit smarter every generation, because your generation is smarter than our generation. That's what I think. And maybe the next generation will be a little smarter, maybe who knows, smarter than you, but not only a little bit. But machine learning, these technologies are really more like advanced every year. So basically, and the thing that they're capable of doing really changes rapidly. And so you should keep track of that. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I guess no other question. So we can finish.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank you.
listening.
Let's
And
give him take get some super for you.
okay. Ooh. Okay.
Oke, yang teman pertama.
Pakai tas sedikit.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Thank you.
So thank you everyone. Finish. Thank you.
Yeah.
Silakan untuk teman-teman foto bareng di depan ya. Sorry, di kesini aja. Oh, di sini nggak bisa nih.
Tapi kita maju nih.
Ya, maju. Langsung aja.
Yes.
Muncul kok tak muncul. Oh.
Berapa? Kurang baik. Kan tinggi.
Oke, siap.
Satu, dua, satu, dua. Satu, dua, satu, dua. Thank you.
I'm graduate from